June 19, 2025, having finally fixed some audio issues. This is the weekly governance meeting for the TAN network. So I was going over some action items from last week that we created a technical lead position and got that out. Saphir did that yesterday, which is great. And then I did inquire with Garrett. There's no possibility for a layer one multi-sig at this time. So really we could come up with two options. One is look at, without a multi-sig, what are our options and how can we best feel comfortable securing those tokens? Two, best secure those tokens as we can in the short term, and then how time consuming and difficult is it to integrate EVM, and then once we have EVM we can then go into a multi-sig, or three, I guess, see if anyone out there wants to build a multi-sig integration. So that's something we could talk about later. And then we had stated that we are going to publish a tentative total supply and the 80% breakdown. I don't think we got to that this week. Did we, Saphir?
No, we did not. I was just curious, have we heard anything on Garrett's end with that either?
I'll be honest, I didn't even ask. So maybe I added it to the actions for this next week. Same with the check with DLT Green if he would support a coordinator. And then I'll try to that kind of slip from me checking and working on that. So we'll leave those action items for next week. So I made like a little section of just weekly discussion points of things that are basically brought up during the Discord that, as we start getting active, I want to make sure that, if someone can't join this meeting, and they're kind of discussing things that they don't get lost and they're included. So one thing, JIGL, on the technical lead position, JIGL had said that he had 15 years of dev experience, but not necessarily as a layer one Tangle experience. And I was just, maybe Bill Poster, you can reply to him and ask him what kind of dev experience, is what kind of code language, front end, back end, etc. And also, does he have any crypto dev experience, let's say EVM or something? And again, maybe we could start building like a database of our community devs and their specialties, you know what I mean? So that when something does come up that we think could fit them, and if they happen to not be joined in one of these meetings, we could always tag them and ask them if they want to get involved. But he seemed very wanted to get involved, which is great to see from a community dev. So he mentioned that he couldn't find the GitHub and that the TAN website was down. I can't remember if the GitHub link is on the TAN website. Reached out to Garrett. It seems like there's an AWS issue that he's going to fix here shortly with the TAN website. I also would like to get this GitHub link so that we can put it here on Notion, and I think we should put it on Discord to have sort of one useful links, actually. I wonder if it's in here. Website, white paper, TAN Explorer, contract text, text screener. So yeah, once we get the GitHub, Bill Poster, it'd be good probably to put that in the useful links page. And then, And when I was asking them, or someone else too, like once we get that up, it'd be good to have a second set of eyes to go through that GitHub and just see, is it organized properly? Is there anything we could do to make it do better that supports community involvement? And I'm not a tech guy, so but yeah, it'd be good to have other tech people look at it. Mr. Storm had stated that if the meeting was an hour later, 1 or 2 hours, he could join. I know this becomes difficult for Edward, right? Edward, you're in Australia. It's already super late for you, correct?
I'm in the Philippines. It's
okay.
10 p.m. I'm at GMT +8. I have no problem if you want to make it later. If I'm not available at 11 or 12, I probably wasn't available at 10 either. So, I'm an early night for me is 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. So if you want to change the date, please don't worry about me. Okay. The time, don't worry about me.
Sure. Okay, well, let's, Bill Poster, let's do a poll that has 2 hours earlier, 2 hours later, like, you know, A, 1 hour earlier, B, 2 hours earlier, etc. Let's put the time in CST and then, you know, 1 hour earlier, 2 hour earlier, 3 hour, 1 hour later, 2 hour later, just to see, you know, if I would hope if it's just 1 or 2 hours and we get more participation with the community, I think it's something for us certainly to consider, and just kind of see what the majority out there would like. Okay. And then, yeah, there's a question brought up of who has access to the TAN Twitter profile. Does anyone, Seafair, do you know at all? I was hoping Garrett was going to be here tonight. I need to ask him that question actually too. I'm assuming it's him, but
He's the primary driver. I actually, long story short, because there were some verification issues in his geography, so I was able to get myself on in the early days to pay for verification. So I might have some access if other people need to get on. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, great. Because, yeah, I think, you know, if there's someone out there that wants to do social media posting, that's active, like maybe someone like Bill Poster or someone else, or wants to create posts, we could come up with either giving that individual access or having a channel where they can post, tag someone like yourself or tag yourself and Garrett, and then you know, and then we can get it posted to get some activity there. So let me put yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, maybe Saphir, you can try to see if you have access.
Yeah, I'll try with the old credentials Bill Poster in a couple of minutes, and then if those work out, I'll send them your way.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, and then we could always do a post maybe in the marketing channel to see if people would want to create any Twitter posts or do some social media marketing for TAN and can be rewarded in TAN tokens. I think that's what we kind of agreed on, right? Of, you know, breaking it down per month. Of course, it would be dev heavy, but there'd still be, you know, tokens for other non-dev activities.
Yeah, design-related tasks would be a big one too. If we can get infographics or other representative, like kind of data pieces of visualization, that'd be a really nice one to add on the list. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who might step up even if they're not the greatest designers with the help of AI.
Okay. That'd be good. That's something I can kind of put some posts in the marketing and post in marketing. And that could probably get some activity going in the Discord until. So, sorry, I'll just check my phone here. So I would say that we give it another week, see if anyone is interested in the lead position. If we don't have any solid interested parties, maybe we start just working at it as a group and going through some of those technical things. You know, sometimes I find in a community, there's definitely technical experience individuals, but they just don't have the time to take on like a full position. So if somehow we could break it down into tasks or like seek consultants, there's more, there's individuals that can kind of help out on a short term, you know, part-time basis rather than taking on a full position. So, but okay. So, Oh, and then I believe it was in the tech. Let's see here. What channel was that? Someone posted it was the uh it was like a Tangle Explorer in a sense showing the chain, which was just interesting. And um governance, that's it. Yep. Awesome. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And that's something that Garrett said that, hey, this is active. The TanglePay social DApp is currently active on the TAN network. Of course, there would be only one coordinator, but that, the APIs are active. And additionally, even for the Explorer, I think, and this is something that maybe we can also put in the useful links one. Let me see if he had the there we go. So okay, so we have the Hornet Node dashboard. But the second one, I guess it's the same one, isn't it? Yeah, that's just the visualizer, and then we have the Explorer as well. So that's pretty cool. And so one thing I was thinking of is we don't have a multi-sig. Do we want to wait until EVM could be integrated to launch this? Now, if someone says, well, what did IOTA do? I'm pretty sure that Dom basically just controlled the keys on everything before there was a multi-sig. After a multi-sig, I don't know, maybe he still does, but we had talked about kind of for the Tangle Treasury, it was just me, the lead. I had given whatever password, like basically tokens would be sent to an exchange wallet, and then another individual had the passwords to that the co-lead, which was Linus at the time, or it would just be sent to a wallet. So what we could do is we could have a wallet with 2 or more people with the key. We could do it on BSC. I think to an extent any of those are fine. What I do think, and something that we did in the Tangle Treasury in the Discord, was we were able to create basically an alert. So whenever tokens moved from that address, the storage address, and went anywhere, it would say, it would give an alert, these tokens move from here to here for transparency. And I think if we can do that, and all of that should be public code, so it should be pretty easy to integrate into here as well. Then everyone in the community is going to see when any tokens have moved. If the community says, hey, we're going to give that individual 1,000 TAN for doing Twitter posts once a month or once a week, whatever, then once a week, once a month, they're going to see the alert and 1,000 tokens go. So I think, to me, transparency is always one of the best security mitigator. That is just, it's always, you must have transparency on top of everything. In the lack of a multi-sig, I think, it also is, I don't know if it's the game theory, concept, but if anyone was to steal any of those tokens, the second they move from that wallet, the price is going to go to shit, right? If that's not an approved transfer. So anyone trying to take those tokens would be shooting themselves in the foot. Additionally, there's really no value. There's no liquidity. So you can't